In the mist-stitched valleys of Llwm, where ancient stones slept and the rivers whispered to the trees, a spirit of the forest once stood. Born of root and stone, the creature clashed and laughed and burned through the woods. Sometimes calm as the moss underfoot, and sometimes a storm wild enough to shake the valleys. The valleys breathed with the scent of wet earth and rain-soaked bark. The rivers carried the sharp, clean smell of stone and water, and the mist curled low to the ground, cool and heavy against the skin. The rivers whispered to the trees, and small things were left behind by those who passed. On one crooked tree by the Afon Du, a small ornament hung from a branch. A simple carved carrot, forgotten by all but the mist. The being met her by the river, the Ceffyl Dŵr, born of mist and restless water, shifting silver against the black currents of the Afon Du. She was wild in her own way, elusive, flickering, never still. They spoke often, words passing between them like brittle twigs in the wind, sometimes warm, sometimes sharp enough to draw blood. The presence clashed with her as much as it connected. What the creature felt for her was love, not the kind that clings, not the kind that dreams or desires. It was not romantic, not bound by wanting or need. It was something quieter, older, a bond that asked for nothing and endured even when everything else broke. She would scream, the being would roar back. The forest itself sometimes trembled under the weight of their storms. But always, always, when the mist rolled low and heavy, they found each other again. The spirit remained, not blindly, not without scars, standing through every storm she brought, knowing the river's course could never be changed. There were moments when the figure thought, perhaps she might rest here, even if only briefly. But rivers run, and stones endure. The ending came not with anger, but with silence. One evening, as the fog choked the valley and the crows of Afag Du circled overhead, the creature stood by the cairnstones built for her. She found the being there. In silence, the creature reached into the folds of their worn coat and handed her a small, crumpled note. She unfolded it, squinting through the mist. Written in crooked, careful letters were the words, Peidiwch â dringo mynyddoedd mewn esgidiau dres. For the first time in what felt like a lifetime, she laughed, a bright, wild sound that cut through the heavy mist. The creature only smiled, something too small to reach their eyes. They spoke quietly for the last time. No blame, no pleas.
Just the understanding that some tides cannot be turned back. The figure made the choice. The creature would leave the woods they had lived in, the valleys they had given their heart to, because staying would only tear them both apart. Even if the old paths had stayed open, the being knew, they could never return. Some doors remain open only to remind you they can never again be walked through. Without a word, the figure turned from her and vanished into the mist. The cairns grew cold. The river forgot how to sing their name. Seasons turned. The Tylwyth Teg sang softer in the hollows. The mists along the Afon Du thickened, heavy with silence. The Ceffyl Dŵr would sometimes pause by the black river, feeling the hollow space where once the creature had stood. She did not call. She did not search. There are absences too heavy even for mist to carry. And so the valley kept its silence forever. Yn y dyffryn, lle symudai ei chysgod unwaith, mae gwaglen aros. Nid yn finiog, nid yn boenus, ond yn lle nad yw sain yn setlo mwyach. Nid yw pob cwlwm yn torri, maent yn teneo, yn pylu, yn troi'n dywydd. Nid wyf yn aros amdani, nid wyf yn galw ei henw, ond mae'r siap a adawodd ar ôl yn cerdded gyda mi o hyd. Pwysau tawel, yn atgoffa bod rhai absenoldebau yn dysgu byw yn y corff erioed, ar ôl i'r byd anghofio ei bod wedi bod. In the valley where her shadow once moved, a hollow remains. Not sharp, not aching, just a place where sound refuses to settle. Some bonds do not break. They thin, they fade, they become weather. I do not wait for her. I do not call her name. But the shape she left behind walks with me still. A quiet weight, a reminder that some absences learn to live in the body long after the world has forgotten they were ever there. It's so much darker when a light goes out than it would have been if it had never shined at all. Grief is just love's light burning on, even when that person is no longer in your life anymore. We use that grief to lay a foundation, and one day we build something beautiful.